Okay, so you're tired of getting carpal tunnel in Clicker Heroes and you just want to get your waifu.pngs nice and fat. Well, this is how you do it. You want an Android emulator called NOX Player, and you're gonna want a macro recorder. You can do this in any macro recorder you've got, as long as it can scan the screen for images and position the mouse on it. Otherwise, the files, wink wink, are in the description. So it's going to look for this infinity symbol because I've already completed the quest, and this is a very distinctive image, and it's also on the button on where I need to press. So I'm going to test this if statement, and it's true. And you notice how the mouse just magnetized over there. Once it does that, there's an action called click, and it's going to ignore the above coordinates and just execute at the current position, and it's just going to click on it. So when I click this, it's going to do that, and I paused it there because what it's going to look for is this handshake symbol in the very top. So if I'm fighting assassins and lancers, I kind of want to build my party around that to where it's an easy win, even if all my heroes are maxed out. But you can also do this for lower levels too, if you're just trying to start new accounts or just have a whole bunch of smurfs on NA and JP. So casters are good against assassins, so I want a caster. And my buddy Josuke, he's got this waiver, and we're gonna go to town on it. So I'm gonna start my script again, control P, and it found that image, and it's gonna start the quest. When you're farming a certain node over and over again, you want to make sure that your party is dialed into the point where you can win very easily and very quickly. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't take more than 15 turns, depending on the node. So there it found the attack button, and it's clicking in the top because that is where the noble phantasms are going to spawn. And it's pausing for 15 seconds to let the battle go on. Just because I added that in there just so that the mouse isn't freaking out all over the place if you just wanted to watch your macro just do its thing. So it doesn't matter what it clicks, it's just going to click in the exact same position because all of my units are just going to completely crap on anything they hit. So I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to break down this. So I got it labeled here called attack, and then there's end attack. So it's looking for this image in this region of the screen. It's going to then position the mouse on that image and execute a click. And then it's going to then go through the noble phantasms. So MP1, MP2, MP3, and then the cards, the art cards, or the buster cards, or the quick cards, whatever it is that you happen to randomly get. And you are gonna have to change these depending on your setup and what you have going. So for instance, I know that this one is a little off because I had this running on a spare laptop, because this is going to take up the function of your mouse. You're not going to be able to use your main PC or virtual machine or AWS server, whatever you've got this running on, farming up XP or materials for Ascension. So I'm gonna go over here, and this is the one that was giving me a little trouble. So then you hover over and then you hit F2 to change the mouse position on that. And then you notice how it just changed that right there? Actually, hold on a second. It's not. This window needs to be opened up. Man, I'm retarded. Okay, so it does that, and now it's working. So it's a little finicky, but just make sure that you've got everything ready to go. I would recommend either having dual monitors or just shifting the window to the side so that you can troubleshoot as it's running, because you're gonna want to do that for your first go around. All right. So it's just gonna run that over and over again, and until it ends the battle, or until you stop it, or until you run out of action points, or until you die. If you die, most of the times it's always worth it to not continue the battle, because all you're doing is just farming for materials and whatever. So don't use your command seals, don't use quartz. It's not necessary. Just tweak your party and just try not to get into position to where you can die. Always have good backup units. Make sure all the craft essences are appropriate for whatever hero it is and your team composition. But to be honest, if all your heroes are level 90 in Grailed, you could probably farm any node without really worrying too much, unless you're extremely disadvantaged. And that's basically it. Okay, so now that the battle is over, you notice how it clicked on Saber's face? You want to dial that in to whatever the first hero is in your party. Now it's looking for the protag's face here, and it's going to click on that as well. It's going to click on her, and then it's going to click next. And then it's just going to loop over and over again. And you remember we had it look for that blue infinity symbol. So where's it going to go now? It's going to just do exactly the same thing. And that's it. That's how you farm an FGO. So like, share, subscribe, and the files are in the description. Hope this doesn't get patched.